Astra Lost in Space Volume 3 is called Secrets. Continuing from the first two volumes, I was really excited to check out the rest of this manga. After finding out that it'd only be 5 volumes long, that means that, you know, if I borrow the last 3, I have the whole story. So I was really excited. Immediately after the events of Volume 2, this is a character development volume, basically. It explores 3 different characters and their backgrounds, all while having prelude in this tropical island paradise planet. And this volume sort of sets in motion the finale of sorts. They're about halfway through their journey. They only have about 2 more planets to go through. However, they have this huge twist at the end, which I really liked. And of course, if you only have Volume 3, you don't have Volume 4, then you're going to be left at a really big cliffhanger, because Volume 4 is called Revelation, and it finally reveals the twist of why they're there. And I honestly thought that it would be a lame build-up, but it wasn't. It was in fact a very ambitious direction they decided to go with this manga. It had me. Introduction of new characters, new backstories. It just sort of goes for broke, basically. There's no other way to put it. It just basically just goes for it, and the payoff is worth it. So after Volume 4, we get the finale, Friendship, the huge. Basically, the finale pretty much happened in the volume before, in Volume 4. This is sort of the aftermath sort of volume, even though it's thicker than the others. It pretty much concludes the story, skips forward a little to show how everyone is and everything, and how they've changed, and after the events of what happened. Astra Lost in Space, overall, is a really enjoyable because it has so many different aspects to the main adventure story. The main concept is high school students and various people are supposed to go to planet camp, and they end up 5,000 light years away on a ship, hurtling through space, trying to get back to their home planet. They have to find food and water on 5 different planets on their way back. With broken communications, a broken ship. It's a sort of hard sci-fi survival tale. So on the one hand, you have the adventure aspect. However, there's also the mystery of, you know, how did they end up in this situation? And it sort of feels like, oh, you know, it's something that you can just leave till the end. They do not leave it till the end. They reveal it in Volume 4, and it's a really interesting twist, the way they just sort of go through that. So on the one hand, it is a sci-fi survival thriller, an action adventure, but it also has a little bit of tinge of mystery. And the one thing that I really like that they keep in respect to it is the characters. The characters remain consistent. They all have unique personalities and backstories. I think in the final volume there was some extra material of the author wanted to base this off of a Jules Verne story about 15 different people, but he felt that was too many characters, so he had to combine different characters and cut it down to the 9. So I really liked how all the characters sort of get a sort of closure. That's very important for a manga. Usually I read manga and they're really long and you have to wait a long time. Or you get to the finale, it's usually not the best payoff, but this one has a pretty solid payoff. It had me from the first volume all the way to Volume 5. So obviously I really enjoy this series. It was definitely worth reading. I definitely recommend Astra Lost in Space.